Azura Stevens has just broken the damn internet. Reports is coming out that she will not be re-signing with the Sparks, and it got many people thinking that she's headed on her way, bags packed, coming to Indy, dog. Now let's jump right into this story. This is breaking news. We ain't gonna waste no time. Shout out to EA over on Twitter. He kind of made this graphic here.
That graphic just shattered the internet. Azura Stevens in an Indiana Fever uniform. And judging by what's emerging right now, this has moved beyond mere fan speculation. So what shifted in the past 48 hours?
Will not be re-signing with the LA Sparks. Now, this is the story that has everyone talking. It came out earlier this week that Azura Stevens could possibly be on her way to Indiana. Many Indiana Fever fans definitely want to see her in the uniform. And as of right now, I don't want to say that she is or she ain't, because it damn sure look like she is, man. The Indiana Fever.
The LA Sparks just made it official. Unrestricted free agent Azura Stevens will not be returning to the team. And Indiana Fever fans immediately started saturating social media with that exact uniform mock-up. But here's what separates this from your typical free agency chatter.
Fever has been kind of quiet with their free agency moves. It seemed like they're trying to get the players that was already on the team, like your Damsters, your Lexi Halls, which we're going to talk about Lexi in a minute because she did this interview and everybody's talking about it, man. And yeah, we just got to talk about this. Now, Azura Stevens, like I stated, has fans talking.
The Indiana Fever has maintained a conspicuous silence throughout this entire free agency period. While other franchises are making headline-grabbing announcements, Indiana has concentrated on securing their existing roster. Lexi Hall just resigned. The foundation is staying intact, which indicates they've been conserving their resources for something particular. And that silence is about to become deafening.
I told y'all I possibly will not be covering the story if it's a bunch of gibberish. And as of right now, I got to keep it 100 with y'all. It don't look like it's a bunch of gibberish. At least with Azura Stevens, look like she could very much be possibly coming to the Indiana Fever basketball team, man. All of the odds look like she's coming. Based off what's coming out on the internet, it definitely look like she's coming. And I'm excited about this.
Let's examine what Azura Stevens actually delivers to Indiana. She's a 6'6" forward who can expand the floor, defend the rim, and generate mismatches on both ends. Last season with the Sparks, she averaged double digits in scoring and served as one of their most reliable defensive anchors. But the compatibility with Indiana is what makes this captivating. Caitlin Clark requires spacing. She needs teammates who can convert in transition and drain open threes when defenses collapse on her penetration. Azura Stevens does precisely that. She shot 37% from beyond the arc last season and runs the floor like a guard. Combine that with Aaliyah Boston in the paint, and suddenly Indiana possesses a front court that can compete with anyone in the league.
Really ain't got to do too much because everybody's just going to tweet about him and talk about him, and now we're making videos about her. So it's really, to me, the best position to be in. It's almost like the pick of the litter. And yeah, man, I don't know, but we have to move on to this Lexi Hall story. That's the one I want to cover here with you guys.
And this is where the fan base transforms into a recruitment weapon. Indiana Fever fans appeared last season in ways that stunned the entire WNBA. Sellout crowds, road game invasions, social media movements that generated more attention than some teams' playoff campaigns. When free agents witness that kind of passion, that kind of infrastructure being constructed, it alters the equation. You're not simply joining a franchise, you're joining a revolution that's already in progress. The front scrambling. Lexi Hall just resigned. Erica Wheeler provides veteran point guard stability. The pieces are aligning faster than most people comprehend. One move, one signing, and suddenly Indiana advances from playoff hopeful to authentic championship contender. But let's confront the skepticism, because it exists. Some people are claiming this is just fan wishful thinking, that the graphic is impressive but signifies nothing, that Indiana's been connected to every available free agent and nothing's traded to Chicago then to Los Angeles. 3 teams in 6 years, None of them executed deep playoff runs during her tenure. She's been the veteran. Indiana has been fighting uphill, but last season demonstrated something. When you position a generational talent in the right market with the right support, you can construct something that rivals anyone. Azurá Stevens signing with Indiana isn't just about basketball compatibility. It's about recognizing where the Hall situation that was referenced at the start. Because that's part of the identical story. Indiana secured Hall early in free agency. They confirmed their role players were secure before making any significant moves. That's deliberate. That's a front office that knows exactly what they're constructing and isn't leaving anything to chance. Hall resigning transmits a message to potential free agents. The culture is sound. Players want to remain. The foundation is solid. And when you're attempting to persuade someone like Azurá Stevens to join, that matters. She's not walking into chaos. She's walking into a team that secured their infrastructure, figured out, and is prepared to take the next step. Here's what transpires if this goes through. Indiana immediately becomes a top 4 team in the league. They match up with New York's size. They can run with Las Vegas's pace. They possess enough shooting to space the floor against Connecticut's defense. And most importantly, they have the star power to win close games in the playoffs. That's been the missing piece. The veteran presence who's been there before and knows how to execute when the margin for error disappears. Stevens provides them that. She's played in high-pressure situations. She's been the go-to option when teams needed a bucket. And now she'd be in a role where she doesn't have to carry that entire burden. She can be the 3rd or 4th option who makes winning plays. That's a luxury she's never possessed. And it's exactly what Indiana requires. But let's zoom out for a second. Because this is about more than one signing. This is about what it signals for the future of the franchise. If Indiana lands Azurá Stevens, they prove they can compete in free agency. They prove that players want to come to Indiana, not just stay when they're drafted there. That changes everything. Suddenly they're not just developing young talent and hoping it works out. They're attracting established veterans who see the vision and want to be part of it. That's how dynasties start. Not with one lucky draft pick, but with a combination of homegrown talent and strategic veteran additions. Golden State accomplished it. Milwaukee accomplished it. And now Indiana has the chance to build something similar in the WNBA. The blueprint is right there. They just have to execute. And think about the timeline here. The WNBA season starts in May. Training camp opens in April. Free agency moves are happening right now in February and March. Teams that wait too long get left with scraps. Teams that move decisively get their targets. Indiana's been patient, but patience has a limit. If Stevens is the target, and all signs point to yes, then the announcement could arrive any day now. Watch the social media accounts. Watch the insider reports. When there's this much smoke, the fire is coming. And when it does, the entire landscape of the WNBA shifts. Because Indiana goes from interesting young team to legitimate threat, and everyone else has to adjust their plans accordingly. Let's address one more thing. The skeptics who claim Indiana's fan base is getting ahead of themselves, that the hype is premature, that nothing's official until it's official. Sure, fair enough. But here's the counter-argument. When was the last time a free agency rumor this specific, this detailed, this widely circulated, turned out to be completely wrong? When insiders aren't denying it, when team officials aren't shutting it down, when the player's former team confirms they're not resigning, that's not speculation anymore. That's reporting. And the fan base isn't getting ahead of themselves. They're recognizing what's happening in real time and amplifying it. That's what exceptional fan bases do. They create the energy that makes their city an attractive destination. They make free agents want to be part of something bigger than basketball. Indiana's fans accomplished that last season, and they're doing it again right now. That's not premature. That's powerful. So here's where we are. Azurá Stevens is an unrestricted free agent who will not return to the Los Angeles Sparks. Indiana Fever has been strategically quiet all offseason while locking down their existing core. The fan base has created a groundswell of support for this specific signing. The basketball fit is perfect. The timing aligns and the momentum is building daily. Could this still fall through? Sure. Free agency is unpredictable. Another team could swoop in with a superior offer. Stevens could decide she wants a different situation. But based on everything we're seeing right now, all the signs point in one direction, and that direction is Indianapolis. This isn't just about adding a talented player. This is about Indiana making a statement: we're not rebuilding anymore. We're competing. We're not hoping to make the playoffs. We're attempting to win a championship. And we're willing to make the moves necessary to get there. Azurá Stevens is that move. The move that changes the trajectory of the franchise and validates everything they've been building toward. When this gets announced, and it feels like when, not if, at this point, remember where you heard it first. Remember the graphic that broke the internet. Remember the week when Indiana Fever went from interesting story to legitimate contender, because that's what's happening right now in real time. And it's exactly what this league needs. The WNBA is superior when Indiana is competitive. It's superior when small market teams can compete with the coastal powers. It's superior when intelligent roster construction and passionate fan bases create success stories that feel earned, not bought. Azurá Stevens to Indiana checks all those boxes. It's the right move at the right time for the right reasons. So pay attention over the next few days. Watch for the announcement. Watch for the press conference. Watch for the jersey reveal. Because when it happens, the entire conversation around the WNBA shifts. Indiana becomes must-watch television. Every game matters. Every matchup carries playoff implications, and the team that was supposed to be a few years away suddenly becomes a problem right now. That's what one signing can accomplish when it's the right fit. And Azurá Stevens to Indiana, that's not just the right fit, that's the perfect fit. The move that makes sense for everyone involved and elevates the entire league in the process. What do you think? Is this happening? Or is the fan base reading too much into it? Drop your prediction in the comments. And if you want to see more breakdowns like this, as free agency unfolds, hit that subscribe button, because this is just the beginning. Indiana's building something exceptional, and we're going to be here covering every move, every signing, every step of the journey. Let's see where this goes.